What's going on, everyone? I'm doing some more wired Predator testing today. If you don't know what this bike is, check out some of my previous videos doing some testing on this insanely powerful e-bike from Wired. Never felt anything else like it. I mean, it's got a 1,000-watt motor in the front powered by a 40-amp controller. You got a 1,500-watt motor in the back powered by a 50-amp controller. The peak watts on the Predator are like 6,000, over 6,000 watts at peak. It's crazy. It's so much power. And I've been kind of adjusting the settings today because I'm gonna do some hill climbs with it and maybe do a little bit of off-roading just to see where the settings need to be to make this thing, rideable and use that power in the best way that I can. So let me show you what I've done so far. I went in and adjusted the power output settings, which you can do on this. It's highly programmable. All right, so I put the pedal assist 1 at 20% of the power. Pedal assist 2 is at like 35%, 3, 60%, 4 is at 75, and 5 is full power. And next I turned on the throttle follow feature, which means whenever I hit the throttle, it's linked to that pedal assist number. So when I crank this throttle right now in all-wheel drive, I'm only getting 1,100 watts, right? Normally I hate that. I normally can't stand when the throttle follows pedal assist, but for this bike it is an absolute lifesaver to be able to, basically tame it down. It's so much power, you gotta dial it back. So I like that feature on this because I can go to the next setting, pedal assist 2, hit the throttle again. Okay, now I'm getting 2,000 watts, 1,992 watts. All right, so you can very easily just kind of bump up the power in the throttle using that pedal assist number. So I like that throttle follow feature in this circumstance. Normally I don't. So now, when I initially tested this bike, I didn't even do the hill climb test with it because it was just, I wouldn't have been able to physically keep the bike on the path, and there would have been so much wheel spin. But I'm gonna go try to do it today. I'm gonna go try to do the normal hill climb test with this bike, but with one slight alteration. I'm only gonna use like 60% of the power. I'm gonna put it in pedal assist 3 and run the hill climb test at 60% power because I think I can manage that. I'm guessing that this bike will probably be one of the fastest bikes I've ever tested going up the hill, even at only 60% power output. All right, here we go. Hill climb test. We start right here. My battery's showing like 93%, so we're not even at a full charge, but I think this should be manageable. I'm in pedal assist 3, so that means 60% power from the throttle. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, still got a pretty good burnout. I mean, it's so strong though. Up to 22 miles an hour already. And time. That's probably one of the fastest times ever put down, I'm gonna guess. I mean, it was right there. I'll put a list of all the all-wheel drive bikes, but that's just 60% of what this bike's got. Whew. I love it. I love it. I love the power in this. Now, the way this power works is when I tell it, so I'm in pedal assist 1 right now, and I'm telling it to give me 20% power. And when I hit that throttle in all-wheel drive, I'll do it right here. You can see it puts out 1,100 watts. But let's say I think that's too much for where I am. I'm gonna navigate some sidewalks with pedestrians on them or something like that. I gotta operate slower. Well, all you need to do is flip it to single motor drive. So if I flip it to rear wheel drive like that on the switch, now hit the throttle, now I'm getting 594 watts. Because out of that 1,100 that I was getting in all-wheel, that's 500 whatever to each motor. So that's another way that you can even fine-tune the power depending on what drive mode you're in. So there's all-wheel drive 1,122, rear-wheel drive. Now we're at 590. So I really like this setup that I have currently right here. It'll be tame in number 1 and number 2. You can even make it tamer by switching it to single motor drive. And then when you get up into, I have, pedal assist 4 is programmed at like 75% of the power. Up here in 5's at 100. So here's pedal assist 5, all-wheel drive. and it said 57.99, 58.65. So 5,800 watts there. That's a lot of watts. It's nice having it tamed down, honestly, because the front wheel spin is pretty outrageous. I've already wired my feedback on that and said, hey, it'd be really great if on the next version you can kind of independently program the front wheel so you don't get as much wheel spin. We can dial up the back, dial down the front, and have like a crazy launch. Yeah, they seem to take that suggestion to heart. So I'm guessing that the next round of Predators, they are making more. They're making at least 100 more. So if you want to get one, they're on pre-order right now. I would expect there to be changes to the bike. I mean, that's wired. Every version they put out seems to have updates, whether it's the Cruiser, the Freedom, or Predator, or whatever. I would anticipate some updates to the bike. But I do know one change they're going to make for sure on the next round of Predators. That's the front fender. Let me show you. The front fender needs some help. It's got these two wires that hold it in place, right? You got this wire coming off the front and this one off the back. That's it. There's no other support. So this fender, as you're riding, it's just wiggling like that. So I know they're going to find a better way to secure that. It's pretty wiggly. You can hear it kind of like that hitting into the forks. So that'll be changed. That needs to happen. I was kind of surprised at that one, but that was from what I understand, a manufacturer came up with that idea. All right, we're in a little bit of an off-road area here. I'm going to try and just pedal assist one level throttle right now. So I'm getting at full throttle. I will drive. It's like 1100 watts, right? Let's see how that feels for going through some of this terrain. What do we got? Oh, we got our water crossing. We got to do our water crossing. Okay, I didn't want to get this thing too dirty and muddy. It's basically brand new. Ah, yeah, I'm already muddy. Dang. And I feel like it's good for slow motion climbing like this. It's digging its way. Giving me 1,000 watts. Both motors digging at 500 each. That was pretty good. I feel like it could use a little bit more power. So I may bump it up to pedal assist 2. The thing is, when you're doing off-road stuff, I don't want to overpower that front wheel. Otherwise, it'll just be spinning like crazy. Which can get you a little bit off of balance. This is a pretty steep hill right here. Let's go down it. See what it's like. Oh yeah, all kinds of loose pine cones and leaves. This will be a challenge. I don't know if we can do it with just 1,000 watts. Might need to bump it up a little bit. I'm gonna put it at pedal assist 2. So this is at like 2,000-ish watts range. I'm gonna do one other thing too. People ask me about off-roading bikes all the time. Like, what's a better bike for off-road? I'm gonna put the seat down because I want to get my feet on the ground real easily. When you're off-road and you lose your balance, I want to be able to get my foot down. A lot of times you're on uneven ground. So let's do all-wheel drive. Can we make this hill? This is steep. Oh, it'll bump right off the bat. Yeah, okay, so it's just spinning like crazy. But I can get my feet flat on the ground so I can just basically duck paddle all the way up and let it dig. That actually even felt like it was too much power. Might have been able to do that in one. I'm gonna fine tune. Let me fine tune. All right, I'm in the power settings. That felt like too much power. My pedal assist 2 is at 35%. I'm gonna take it down just to 30%. Just a little bit less power. Let's see how if that feels any better. All right, let's go back down carefully. Yeah, this is really slippery. But it gives you a good idea of what this is like going off-road with it. A little bit of a run at this. Decent sized hill. I mean, I could never climb it on a regular bike, no power. All right. Let's see what we got. Again, that front wheel is digging like crazy. You see, I'm just kind of helping it by walking it up. Probably could even tone it down more. I'm mid-hill. Let me switch to pedal assist 1. Try it now. A lot more manageable. A lot more manageable. Yeah, you don't want too much power off-road. I mean, 1100 watts, maybe 15. I'm gonna say maybe like 1500-ish watts would probably be good for that climb with both wheels digging. Is that the magic number? Let's program it in. All right, so 35 felt like too much power, 35%. 30 even felt like a lot. I'm taking it down to 25. 25% power going to this bike. Let's try that. But this is, I mean, that's the beauty of this program. You can really do this to figure out how you're going to use it for your setting. You know, getting 1300 watts. That feels like a pretty good recipe right there. I like that. 1300 watts is about what I need. That felt like the perfect amount of power. Good amount of power. The wheel wasn't going crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm liking this power setting. Let's try this tough little steep hill right here. Get a little bit of a run at it. It's like a wall. Almost made it to the top and we'll dig the rest of the way. There you go. I mean, quick work of that thing. Easy. Super easy. I'll try one more time. Just had to dig the last bit. And now you see why I put the seat down, so I can get my feet down. I don't want to stop on this wall without my feet down. I've fallen before. All right, so that 1300-ish watt territory seemed to be all I really needed to do that challenging off-road stuff. You know, steep hill climbs with loose leaves, enough power to let the front wheel kind of dig your way to the top while you duck paddle with your feet, and you can climb it pretty easily. So I guess what I need to tell you is, if you're looking at an all-wheel drive bike because you want to do stuff like I just showed you, I was able to do it on this bike with only like 1300 watts. So there's a ton of all-wheel drive bikes you can buy out there that would cross that terrain no problem, and they cost so much less than this bike. This is like almost $3,500 plus shipping, which is almost another $300. So why would you spend that much if you're just gonna dumb it down? If you're just gonna dumb the power down to 1500 watts and only use it on stuff like that, I don't know why you would get this. I'm not talking you out of it. I'm not going to talk you out of buying this bike. It's a really nice bike, but it's better for people, I think, like me, who lives in a spot like this, where a lot of the roads around me are no shoulder, 45 miles an hour. So I can get out here, let's punch it up into full blast power, because your typical all-wheel drive bike ain't going to do this. We're already up to 40 mile an hour, 41. You know, you go spend $2,000 or less on an all-wheel drive, it's not going to go 43 miles an hour. You'll be lucky if you hit 35 mile an hour on most of those. So that's the use for this thing. When I'm out with cars in traffic, I can actually keep up. I'm going 45 right now, which I can't remember if this is 45 or 55 here, but that's why I like this thing, because I do way more of this riding than I do off-road riding. All right, I'm gonna try one more thing here because I got a feeling you might ask me about this. So instead of putting it in all-wheel drive and climbing a loose gravel dirt road hill, what if you put it in full power but only rear wheel? So all the power is, you know, what gets traction. Let's try a hill climb like that and see what it feels like. Should I pedal or throttle? Let's just throttle, no pedaling. Get a small little run at it here. Wow. Wow, very strong. Yeah, I mean, something like that, I wouldn't even use the front wheel, because, I mean, you didn't need it. It just powered up that. And there was no danger of spinning out. So I would only use the front wheel when I want to just dig and claw. But that was there's a lot of power in that rear wheel with, you know, a 50 amp controller. That's really feeding some power through there because I'm sure it's peaking actually higher. But something like this, yeah, I think I might just keep it in a rear wheel. This bike's definitely for the power enthusiast like myself. It's overkill. It is definite overkill. You have so much power, you don't know what to do with it, really. But I personally like having way more power than I need, and then just toning it down as needed. Oh yeah, this is great. I just don't know, how long do you do this? Does it have any danger of overheating anything, putting so much power to one wheel and doing challenging stuff? I don't know. I don't weigh a whole lot. If you're 300 pounds, maybe that's more stress on the wheel. I think I would either ride it in rear wheel only at full power or dumb it way down and keep it in all-wheel drive and then just go slow speed. Suspension wise, it feels pretty good off-road. That front fork is nice. That's different than what's on the Freedom and the Cruiser. It's this big old double crown X-Show fork. It's not an air fork at all, just regular type of fork, spring fork, hydraulic, whatever it is in there. That feels pretty good. The rear suspension, I stiffened it up when I got on this because I was like, I had it way too soft. I had it sit on the street, and I flipped the little lever. It's got that quick adjustment lever on it, so I flipped it to the stiff setting. Helped out a lot. It doesn't feel like it's bottoming it out on me at all. I switched over to all-wheel drive again to see. Yeah, see, we're not really getting a lot of wheel spin there. It's just gripping nice. We're at 1600 watts. I'm not sure which is better. The all-wheel drive feels a little stronger. Why would you not split the load or the strain between two wheels if you can, Let's try that same steep hill that we just did rear-wheel drive with all-wheel drive and see if it spins out a lot or not. See how much wheel spin we get. I'm not turning the throttle the whole way because I didn't want the wheel to spin. Look at that. No problem. That was like half throttle. I did that. And there was no wheel spin. What do you think? One of the better bikes I had for off-roading, I thought, was that Birch Growler. It was an all-wheel drive bike designed for hunting. That thing was great. It had great power delivery for off-roading. I really like that one. This one, being that you can dumb it down as needed, is pretty good too. So if you're gonna buy something for like specifically hunting and you need a lot of power, you want to pull a trailer or something like that, this I think might be a good option. I've never tried it. I don't know. Someone may have to try that and let me know how it goes. I'm not a hunter, not since I was a little kid, and I don't really pull trailers or anything, but I mean, it's just got so much power. But here's that switch I was talking about on the shock, this blue switch right here. That's the stiff setting, and down in the middle is a little bit softer, and then that is the softest. You can see how much travel I was getting in that soft setting. I probably need to add some more air into this. I haven't checked it to see lately what air pressure I got in there. But on the Predator, I'm hoping they add the front wheel programming separately in there. And then obviously the front fender, they're working on that. Correct that issue. What else? What else about this one should they change or add? I would really like to see them put a handle on this battery right here. It's because you have to hold the key and turn it and then try to grab the battery to pull it out at the same time. You need a handle here to grab. Hoping they add that on. Can you guys think of anything else? I mean, like I said, they seem to update with every version, so if we can tell them in the comments, hey, add this or change this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm digging this thing. It's so much fun. Let's get out here on this road. Crank it up a little bit. There's a car. Hey, guy. So easy to keep up in traffic. Which is what I need. I need to be able to keep up with cars. And this baby does it. This one does it. Whoa, that guy almost went off the road. He's probably watching me in his rearview mirror. That was this bicycle staying with me. All right, we'll get to the bottom of this hill and we'll spin around and go up because it's a very long uphill. But let's crank this baby up. All right, let's go all the power. Up this hill, no sweat. 31, 3, 5. Climbs like crazy. I can feel my front tires out of balance. I gotta fix that. There's like a lump in it or something. 40 up this little incline. It gets a little steeper right up here. Let's see how much momentum we lose on it. Now we're into the hill. Drop to 38, 37. All right, I gotta slow down to make the curve here. Gosh. All right, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what else this bike needs.